Hi guys, what's up? It's Joel Pitt here, back with another video, and in this video it'll be for Love Island All Stars 2026 Series 3 Episode 21. I'll leave a link down below to Episode 20. Of course, it's going to be spoilers. So without further ado, let's get on with it. So Scott asked Cher if, she wanted a coffee and went for matcha. He put, well, there was like two in the fridge. He put it in the fridge because Jack made one too as well. Tommy and Lucinda spoke. Yeaman spoke to Leanne and Whitney, talking about that, the matcha thing. Lucinda and Sean spoke. Belle's a bit hurt. She pulled her. Sean, is playing a bit of mind game, I think. And the Belle snog was a bit weird, really. Lucinda pulled Sean and then talked about that challenge, saying you need to apologise. Sean pulled Belle, Belle said, you need to take accountability, really. She needs a strong man, and Sean is not a strong man. Curtis went to Sean. Connor was there, I think, as well. Kira and Imani, checked up on Belle. Scott and Cher had a chat. She said to go to the secret garden. He was like, no. She was surprised, Scott made Cher the matcha, I think, Leanne. Cher, I think, was surprised that, she got a matcha from him. And then he was talking about Miami, saying it's big on health and wellness. She rides horses in Miami. I think she lives close to the centre. Scott, tried on Cher's hat as well. Jack stole, Cher off Scott. And then asked, have you ever been in love? Millie and Curtis spoke, talking about Zach. Curtis said he wanted clarity, but I thought, he already knew that they're friends. Scott and Leanne spoke, and then Leanne was like, you're not getting this candy or something. Whitney and Millie spoke, talking about situations. Scott and Sean went for a chat. Then we had the recoupling. The boys were going to choose the girls. US Islanders picked first. So we had Kira. She said she wanted to couple up with this boy because I think I formed some great connections with a few guys, but it's become more of a clear decision for me through the chats I've had, so went for Curtis. Then we had Imani. She said, I think he has really great characteristics that I'd want in a man. I think he's amazing, and I'd just love an opportunity to get him knowing more, so went for Connor. Cher, then, I think I came into this decision because I do want to get to know this person and see where it goes, so went for Scott. Everyone was like, whoa, shocked. Zach, then, coupled up with this girl because she's very empathetic, always positive. She has a really good mindset on life. She has such a contagious laugh. It's very easy to be around her and just to be happy, so went for Millie. Then Yeaman said, this woman is confident. She's proudly herself. She is fun, funny. Honestly, she is literally the light in, any room she walks into. Even the other girls liked it, so coupled up with Whitney. Carrington then picked this girl because she's funny. She's exciting to be around. I think when we talk, she opens up and I see the soft side to her. I feel we're very similar, and I think there's a possibility of us just really going the distance, so went for Helena. Then Sean couples up with Lucinda. This girl makes me feel a certain way that I haven't felt for a long time, and I think she's funny, ditzy and beautiful, and I'm just so happy. Then Kieran, of course, went for Sammy. This girl is absolutely stunning, and to be honest, she does always put a smile on my face. She's the funniest girl I've met. She's absolutely gorgeous. Then Jack, I got to spend a couple of days in the US villa, got to meet 3 great girls, 3 great connections, and I thought, let's see where it goes. But it is what it is. I'll pick the girl that I've had a friendship couple with already because I missed the gossip, so went for Belle. And then Tommy was last. The last person I expect standing here is Leanne. She was one of the loveliest girls I've spoke to. She's got so much love to give. She is so genuine. That was so nice. And for Leanne to be stood up there, she was saying it was very embarrassing, and she didn't deserve it, really. Scott tried to pull Leanne. She had no answer from him. It was just a bit like, well, you know, like you wanted to chat, did you not? Cher and Lucinda spoke, and the US girls as well. Leanne spoke to some of the girls. Scott didn't want, you know, Cher to pick him tonight. Maybe leave it a bit, I'm not too sure. But yeah, anyway. Scott pulled Leanne, you know, she walked off. Cher walked in on Leanne. Jack and Cher had a chat. You know, I don't think he wants to be second best, really. And, you know, he was like, what do you want? Because I don't want to be messed about. Leanne appreciates Tommy as well. Sean and Lucinda spoke. Belle and Scott were sitting together. And then I think all the other couples were like speaking. Curtis and Kira kissed. Sammy and Kieran, I think we're going to the hideaway tonight. Then in bed we had Zach and Millie. They cuddled. Belle and Jack were like on separate beds downstairs. Helena and Carrington kissed. Lucinda and Sean kissed. Whitney and Yeaman kissed. Kira and Curtis spooned. And then Sammy and Kieran were under the covers kissing. Then there was a vote for the favourite couple, and then I don't know when that vote's going to be announced on the app. There's a few videos of like old stuff, so like Scott's arrival turns sour for Sean, Jess calls out Tommy for his actions, Never Have I Ever descends into chaos, Lucinda steals Kieran from Sammy, Lucinda and Sammy clash over Kieran, a huge fallout between Whitney, Shaq and Jess, a messy game that leaves Sean in tears, Villa to confront Sean and Lucinda's romance. Belle storms the villa to confront Sean and Lucinda's romance. And then I think there's another one. Well, that was the same one, sorry. And then Sean and Belle have a major clash. So they're like all YouTube videos have like popped up. What was Cher double part with? Matches. Both Jack and Scott made her a morning matcha. He's a barista now, Leanne said. Lucinda and Belle have officially moved on. There's a video, not letting a guy come between your friendship. What did Cher ask Scott to go to the secret garden? Which boy interrupted Scott and Cher's chat? Jack. Have you ever been in love? As a poll, so 43% are saying once, 34% a few times, 18% never, and then 5% I fall in love with someone new each month, not gonna lie. Have Curtis now got clarity on where he stands with Millie? 75% absolutely, 25% may require another convo. The Scottisha and Sean beef has finally been put to bed. I'm the first to hold my hands up if I'm in the wrong, and I could handle things better in here. Go on, come here. Leanne and Scott fall out after a shocking recoupling. Leanne and Scott are facing their first big hurdle. US All-Star Cher channeled true bombshell energy when she decided to steal Scott at the recoupling. All the villa were left stunned, especially Jack, who felt he was developing a good connection with her. However, Scott and Cher had two flirty chats where Scott admitted he was open to exploring his connection with Cher. ... Leanne was already feeling upset prior to the recoupling, as Scott had made Leanne a morning matcha, which in the villa can be a big deal. So Cher's later decision to steal Scott as her partner was just the icing on the cake, or the syrup on the matcha. On the morning after, is Cher strong enough to break up Scott and Leanne? Tap for Amy, India and Sorel's thoughts on the morning after episode. And then first look for the next episode tonight, Snog, Marry and some extra messy pie. The Islanders are dishing out the drama and serving slices of humble pie. No crumbs are left in this game, or left this game. Sorry about these 3 videos being a bit late. I was in Blackpool for a few days, so you know I didn't have time to watch Love Island and do the reviews. But yeah, thank you very much for your patience. That is all for this video, and I will see you in the next one.